You're listening to episode number 93.
Welcome to the Inner Singer Podcast, providing you with tools and techniques that you need to accelerate your singing, your performance, and your inner game beyond what you thought was possible. And now, your host for the Inner Singer Podcast, Mike Goodrich.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Inner Singer Podcast. This is Mike, and thanks so much for joining me. Today, I want to get right into it. I want to talk about the power of community for singers. Now, I probably had a lot of opportunities that a lot of you don't have, in that when I started singing, I got to sit in vocal studios all day long and watch all the singers come through there, many of whom became friends, and that became my community. And we were all on the same page. We all had the same goals and dreams and aspirations. A lot of us had the same vocal challenges we were dealing with. So not only could I watch a student or a singer or friend go through what I was going through with that observer eye, not so personally involved because it wasn't me, and see what the teacher was doing and see what my friend was doing. And I could learn like that, but I was able to watch countless lessons with different voices going through similar things that I was going through. So I no longer felt isolated. I was part of a group that got me. You know, we all understood each other. We all understood what our dreams were, what our challenges were, how frustrating it can be at times to do this. And it was a really great experience. I've had that many times in my singing journey. Like I say, I had that when I was watching all my friends in various studios. This went on in a lot of voice studios, 2 or 3 for sure. And I had like 12 teachers. And the community was really a huge part of my being able to really get this stuff. Because when it comes to voice, the bottom line is we all have to get it ourselves, right? We have guides, we have things that we see, people that help us along the way. But the bottom line is we have to figure it out in our own voice. And watching it in so many other voices, hearing the same things over and over again is a great help. I also had communities when I was in rehearsals for shows, or I did shows. I used to love rehearsal. I used to love the camaraderie of getting together with a bunch of singers and people that knew, all the challenges, that were on the same page. And we'd go out and we'd celebrate after a rehearsal or a show, and go out to a restaurant, have dinner. We'd all hang out together at parties after the show. And it was a very fun time and something that I have really missed. And that's one of the main reasons that I just started a Facebook community called Singers from Studio to Spotlight, because that's where we want to go, right? Most of us want to be in the spotlight in some regard, whether it's just the spotlight in our home singing at our potential, or it's a spotlight on Broadway, or singing as a recording star, or whatever it is. I think most of us want to get on stage. Certainly I love being on stage, and I'm sure you probably love being on stage. Even if it's a little scary once in a while for you, that's okay. But I'm sure that that's the end goal for a lot of you listening to this, is you want to perform, you want to sing, you want people to love your voice, you want to love singing, you want to have a great time doing it. And probably a lot of you out there are feeling a little bit lost in terms of how to get started, what kind of a community to be involved with, right? I know that can be daunting, it can be a challenge. A good place to start would be my Facebook group. And I'll just give a shout out to my Facebook group, because we just started it, but it's awesome. There's a tremendous amount of engagement. Wonderful singers, wonderful teachers in there. There's great support. People are posting their singing, their ideas, their thoughts, their challenges. It's really a great place to be. The link will be in the description of this. I really suggest, if you're serious about singing and you really want to get involved with a community that is thriving now and is going to get bigger and better, then join us. And like I say, the link will be in the description. But getting back to this, the reason I started it is because I miss having a community to be involved with, especially now. I teach only online. So I'm sitting right now in my studio that's outside away from the house, And it's just me out here, right? When I teach online. And I used to travel a lot, and I used to teach. I used to teach a lot of teachers and their students all over the country and travel all over the place. And it was a great community. It was great fun. And, as we've all moved online, or most of us have moved online at least, I'm all online now. So I don't have that anymore. So I started this community partly for me and partly for everybody else. And it really is it's a great joy to be able to do that now. The other thing we can be is accountable, right? Being accountable to somebody, whether it's one person or a group of people, that we say, hey, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this at this particular time, and then having to follow through on it is a great thing. Let's say you want to record a song, and you say, I'm going to record this song, and you put it out there. You put it in a group, a community of supportive singers. You tell them the date you're going to do it by. And all of a sudden, you've got people that are waiting to have you fulfill this goal so that you can send them the recording once it's done. Maybe you want to do a show, and you're thinking, well, I don't really have any reason to do this. And, you drag your feet and you don't do it. All of a sudden, you decide, hey, I'm going to post in this group of this community of supportive singers that I'm a little nervous about this, but I'm going to do a show. I'm going to book a show in 60 days or 90 days or whatever. Now you've got people that will hold your feet to the fire. They'll hold you accountable. They'll ask you, how's it going? Do you need any help with anything? Or you can say, hey, I'm having trouble doing this, or I'm having trouble doing that. And you'll get a lot of people that have been there and done that will help you and guide you through it, help you miss and avoid a lot of the mistakes that you could make, and help keep you on track and keep you accountable. So that's a fantastic thing to have. I used to play sports when I was younger, and I was part of a team. And when I got involved in musical theater and shows, that was very similar. Because when I played sports and I was on a team, you got a bunch of guys, and they've got the same goal. They want to win. And they've got the same thing. I mean, they wear the same uniform. We got the same thing we're doing. We're talking baseball. We're having a great time. Same thing in this community, or any community that you get into with your voice. If you've not ever been in a community, you don't know what you're missing. And you would absolutely love it, because it is such a fun thing to be around people that get you. That's a real big thing in this day and age, to actually have people understand you. Maybe you're in a family that just doesn't get that you're a singer. Maybe that you're in a non-musical family and you're the musical one. Maybe you're in a group of friends that are not really musical and don't really get what it's like to be a singer and have your voice feel good one day and lousy the next day, and you don't know what's going on. And it takes a singer to understand what goes on with a singer. So if you don't have that in your life, it's really important to avail yourself of opportunities like that. It's also a great joy to see that somebody else is going through what you're going through. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. If you're having trouble with your first bridge and you're going round and round and round, and you're just not making the mix as well, or you can't get in the high notes that well, and you think everybody else in the world has high notes because all the singers that you're listening to on record or in bands or on the radio or wherever you happen to listen and who you listen to, they're all making it because that is what I refer to as they're on stage. They are on stage at that point. Of course they're going to be good, right? You're not hearing their backstage. You're not hearing where they rehearse. You're not hearing where they miss it and mess up. We constantly get ourselves in a position to compare our backstage with somebody else's on stage. But you need to be in a community that has a bunch of people showing off their backstage so that you can see that it isn't always pretty. Most of the time, it's not that pretty. It's rehearsal. It's a work in progress. And you can take a sigh of relief and say, oh my gosh, I've heard that person sing really well, and now I'm hearing them on this as they're just working through this challenge, and it's not that good. And that makes me feel really good that it's not that good, because sometimes I'm not that good. So you no longer compare your backstage with their onstage. It's no longer apples and oranges. It's apples and apples. That's another huge benefit to having a community. So I knew this was going to be a short episode today, But it's very, very important because, I teach what I call the MTP formula, the mindset, the technique, and the performance. Those three components of singing that are vital for great singing. And I just realized after creating this group that there really is another one, and it's community. Because if you have the great mindset and you have the great technique and you have the great performance, but you don't have a community to hang out with and share things with and learn stuff with and be accountable to, and you hear their backstage, so you feel this camaraderie. They get you, you get them. That's a real huge component of this whole thing that you're missing. So my suggestion is get in the group. The link's in the description. You're going to have a great time. Don't be shy. Get in there, post away, support, and be supported. Now, I probably shouldn't give you a bunch of things to do, but I'm going to give you one more. And that's if you want great high notes, a great mix, you want to just figure out your voice, you want to master those three things, mindset, technique, and performance, or get well on the way to knowing what you need to do to master them, get my free book called Fearless Singing. We all want to be fearless singers. It's no fun to sing cautiously, right? We want to be fearless in all ways, with high notes, with confidence, with our performance. This will delve into that and give you some great resources and tools. It also comes with some wonderful bonuses, one of which is my THF system video. It's about a 30-minute video. You can't find it anywhere. I used to give it away, but now I give it as a bonus to the book because I really want to get this book in the hands of everybody. It's a short read. You can read it in about an hour, and then you got the bonuses and all that to take advantage of. But it's absolutely fantastic. So I recommend you grab it. It's called Fearless Singing. It's free. Link will be in the description. So get the book, join the group, and I will see you there. Leave comments. Let me know what you'd like me to talk about. But certainly, get yourself a community, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Inner Singer Podcast. And please share this with all of your singing friends. And head on over to iTunes and subscribe. And if you found it of value, give us a nice rating. Thanks so much.